Brookline's fault. I mean, the system shut down on them, and shout out to those guys. They brought all the coaches in and said, hey, here's the situation. We all need to work together. And I'm really impressed how well they handled it. I'm also impressed with the way the coaches handled it. Even when we were all like kind of sitting around like just shooting the shop around a little bit, we all were pretty on task to making sure this tournament got back. The same warm-up every single time. He knows how to plan it out because he's been wrestling forever. That definitely takes a toll. And even Chase, who wrestled for third and fourth, ended up losing the game in fourth place. I think that also messes up how you time out a meal, because I know some guys like to eat right after because they know they have 45 minutes, give or take, to an hour, give or take, to get their mind right. Now you're adding an additional hour on top of that. Like that just, it really puts a dent in like what the psyche is and how to warm up properly. So it's to get one of those things where you can't prevent it, but if you can try to find a way to mitigate it, you do the best you can.
I was off in the other room as well, doing some wrestling stance in motion, just trying to get my body warm. Like what I'll often do is I'll run to the beat of the music, and usually that helps me just like get locked in and like in the moment. But yeah, it's just constant movement, not talking to anyone, just keeping to myself and getting mentally prepared.
If I was in that position, which I have been before, you just kind of, you can rest for a little bit if you know how long you're going to be off, but usually they give you a heads up like, all right, we'll resume matches in 15 minutes, but you got to stay, you can't just like take a nap for the entire 3 hours. Like you can rest and eat and maybe even sleep a little bit, but you still got to stay moving and keep the blood going and keep the energy up. Because if you fall asleep, then you get tired, and then you're like, all right, now I'm tired, I want to go home. You just kind of got to keep that mentality up of, I'm here to wrestle, that's what I'm going to do.
During like those days when you're in a tournament, you get so wound up, you can just be sitting there waiting for your next match, and you're just wasting energy, getting nervous, you're pacing around. So personally, I just try to take it the best way I could, and that was just to use it as a time to like unwind, kind of reset myself, get in a good mindset, and then just use that time to really rest up and then get ready and get a nice, long warm up in to be prepared for my next match. So I guess when you get faced up like situations like that, you just gotta make the best out of them.
Physically, you get that nice rest in there, but mentally you gotta stay in the mindset. You gotta be like, okay, I'm going to be wrestling later. You can't just sit back in the bleachers, lie back, eat your chips, take a nap. You still gotta keep that fight in you. You still gotta be ready to wrestle.
The moment I get there, but when I'm in that moment where it's like, all right, I know what I got to do, I kind of lose all those nerves and I just know what I have to do and I just work for it. At that point when I was going to the match against the BG kid, I know all I told myself was if I beat him, I get to wrestle off for third place. If I beat him, I can battle either way. So I just kind of took that, just give it everything I got, give it 100%, and that's all I needed. Just took that, it carried me through the whole match.
Come on, Chase!
kid. Like, he can take care of himself. He knows what to do. So before the match, he doesn't talk to anybody. So we all kind of let him do his own thing because he knows what he needs to do to get in that mindset. And then once it's match time, we go and cheer him on. But before the match, he's all to himself.
Yeah, I expected it from the beginning of the day. I mean, I saw his name at the top, mine at the bottom of the bracket. I knew we were going to meet in the finals, hopefully. But yeah, he's my friend off the mat, but when it's time to wrestle, you can't view it that way. I mean, I love the kid, Caden, great guy, but when it's on the mat, it's go time, and you got to be ready to wrestle your heart out.
go, Kane.
Where I need to be and the things I need to prepare for and what I need to do to become a better wrestler. I mean, my number one goal right now is to be able to beat everyone else in the state. And to do that, I have to just pick apart my matches, work on what I need to work on, and become a better wrestler.
We did very well going into the tournament. You know, we're low on players again. We've always been, having 4 or 5 wrestlers going into the tournament. But, everyone wrestled the best they could. Everyone got a lot of experience, and I think we all came out better from it.
And then try to see who is actually going. We have kids, last night they were texting me, hey, just so you know, I won't be there this week. And I'm like, well, you gotta let me know a week beforehand. So trying to figure out our rosters, figuring out the hotel arrangement, figuring out room assignments, making sure that's taken care of, making sure food's taken care of, making sure parents are also aware so that way they can make their own accommodations up there. It's a lot. But honestly, it's such a fun trip for these kids. I'm looking forward to it. I know my staff is looking forward to it. Coach Wyatt, he's won that tournament twice, so I know he loves that tournament from his own special place. But I think the kids too, they've never been up there. I don't think, we don't have a single kid on this roster, I don't think who's been up to that tournament. Maybe Nick, but I think a lot of them too might be their first time away somewhere since the pandemic, which is, incredible to say out loud. So I'm excited to see how they do.
It's going to be an interesting experience. I mean, personally, I think it's going to go very well. I'm looking forward to it. Going to have a fun time, hopefully. But being able to wrestle a competition that we're probably not going to see again for the rest of the year, it's good for the team because we'll know what everyone can do compared to people who are out of state when it comes to the tournaments later in the year. And, just hopefully everyone goes there and does well.
I think it's going to be great. I'm one of the only kids on the team who actually remembers it from the past doing it because of COVID and new coaches and all that. And last year I think we just decided, hey, we don't want to go for whatever reason. But I am super stoked that we have it back this year and we're going to be going to it.
I'm very excited. It's going to be interesting to see a whole day of wrestling, get some rest and then right back into it. I've never experienced that before except for, the Assassins camp I went to. That was the one time I did that, and it was very challenging because you're going through a whole day of wrestling and you're waking up and doing it again. But I think it's going to be a great challenge and a lot of fun just to kind of see, what it's like to do that.
If they feel overwhelmed by it, I'm always there to, talk to the guys, try and lift them up, try and get their head back in it. But hopefully none of the team will feel any of that pressure and we'll just view it as another wrestling tournament. I know that the pressure can get to some kids, but I think we have a tough, solid group of kids and we're going to do just fine.
I just remember that once we showed up for wrestling in the morning, it was just a full day of all of us wrestling, all of us having a great time, just going out, really showing what we could do, learning, improving on some things. I mean, once there were times when wrestlers are off the mat, breaks, intermissions, stuff like that, we could go advanced practice moves that some of us had either neglected to learn or other things. I mean, it was just a great time, not to mention the added community of everyone just hanging out at the hotels, watching TV, you know. It's just a great trip.
Of course, I'm always eager to find out more information, so I'm definitely going to be talking to them to kind of see what it's like. I've never traveled really before for a wrestling tournament, so I'm going to see, what they do, kind of what they think about it. And, they're definitely eager to share too. They're good teammates, so they'd be willing to definitely give us some information.